Right, all along we're looking at the various concepts for cloud computing. It's now time to look at the cloud from the point of view of a software engineer or a developer for web applications. So in this video we are going to cover cloud application design. Of course, we'll look at the various architectures that are quite useful and can serve as a template for cloud applications. So we will look at cloud application design considerations because the cloud is slightly different. It's got brings in a different way of thinking compared to just the internet or just the web. So we also look at some of the architectures that we might refer to as reference architectures, which could act as templates for various types of cloud applications. And then lastly, we look at certain design methodologies that are appropriate in developing various cloud applications. Some of these methodologies have been around for quite a long time. This is particularly the service-oriented architecture, which is abbreviated SOA or SOA, and the model view controller. These methodologies have been around for quite a long time, even before the cloud has emerged. But lessons from such methodologies like service-oriented architecture and model view controller, we have now the cloud component model, which has been proposed as, and of course, a simplification of the various approaches that have been, or various methodologies that have been introduced before. Right, so in terms of specific topics or the way this topic is organized, we have quite a number of sections that we will look at. After the introduction, we will look at design considerations. After that, we look at reference architectures. Then we look at methodologies. And lastly, we will look at some of the data storage approaches. This topic, of course, is not a topic that, especially the databases are always databases. It doesn't matter whether they are in the cloud or whether they are on the web, because a relational database is just operates in more or less in the same way. The fact that it's in the cloud simply changes a few things like database administration, maintenance of the server, which is delegated to the cloud provider. But we'll simply outline a cloud data storage approaches, which is no different from from what you guys are covering in a database, typical database course. Of course, notice that with this set of slides, you also have at the end, after the summary, you have tutorial exercises as well as an outline of the laboratory for this week. And I'm sure you are all aware that the laboratory practicals are actually based on material provided by Amazon through AWS Academy. Right. Next, we will look at section 1,